Now, remember, this is for the middle class. Remember what Barack Obama said, we have a path to build back better for the middle class. Now, it's strange because people like the New York Times will say they are going to build back better for the middle class, and at the same time, they will say they have to find some way to pay for this Build Back Better plan, which, by the way, they also say doesn't cost anything. Okay. Then they say, don't worry, they are only going to do increased audits on the wealthiest 1%. But to do that, apparently, they need to double the size of the IRS. Okay, let's take those into consideration here for a second. Biden administration has proposed to require banks to provide the IRS with data on accounts with a total yearly deposit or withdrawal of more than $600. That is to say, every single person in the country. Now, Democrats who are opposed to that figure, the few of them, say we should move it up to $10,000. That is every withdrawal or deposit that you make in a year. By the way, the average person pays between $10,000 and $20,000 a year just for rent. So if you are renting, you're going to fall under this IRS scrutiny. Okay. This is a violation of the Fourth Amendment. If we don't start caring about the amendments and the Bill of Rights, we are not going to make it. Do not argue about the money. Do not argue about the IRS. Don't argue about anything other than this is a violation of the Fourth Amendment. It is a violation of our privacy. And by the way, the right to privacy has been defined as the right to be left alone. Now, you're never going to be left alone, ever. The government is never going to mind its business because everything you do, every penny you spend will now be charted. Now, they say, don't worry, this is not happening for people who, we're not going to count their salary. Well, of course you're not going to count their salary. You already have a record of that. You already know the W-2. So please don't tell me that, we're not counting everything. Yes, you are. You're just now covering the things you can't spy on. Why do they do this? Why? The reason why they are doing this now is because, A, they are going to affect you and your budget. They are going to affect your money. For instance, if you've had any money in your 401k, has it gone up or down since 2008? If you're like most people, you would only have to guess because you haven't been really watching it, because generally the news has been good for the stock market. If you have a retirement fund, you have money in the stock market. Let me play what Janet Yellen has just proposed that the Treasury needs to do.
Well, I think what's under consideration is a proposal that Senator Wyden and the Senate Finance Committee have been looking at that would impose a tax on unrealized capital gains on liquid assets held by extremely wealthy individuals, billionaires. Okay. I wouldn't call that a wealth tax, but it would help get at capital gains.
Capital gains. It would get at capital gains. Okay. And it's going to start with millionaires. I just want to remind you, that's what they said at the beginning of the IRS. This is only going to be for millionaires. This is not going to affect anybody else. Once you give them this power, it will never be given back. So what are they saying? Well, they say that an unrealized capital gains. Well, you've had unrealized capital gains. Okay? What an unrealized capital gains is, if you have your money in a pension plan and the stock market has gone up, you, even though you haven't pulled it out, even though it's still sitting there, you have to pay the taxes on the increase. Even though you haven't pulled the money out, you pay money on the increase that you just made in the stock market. Well, wait a minute. No, I pull that out. When I pull that out, that's when I pay taxes. No. Now, this begs the question, is the government going to pay me when it goes down? Do I get that money back? Of course not. Of course not. All of this is to do one thing, and that is to complete the goal of the plan that its slogan is Build Back Better. Its plan, its goal by 2030 is that you will own nothing and you will like it. This is destroying everyone's wealth, no matter how rich or poor you are. You will own nothing.